executive session. But considering that the soundness, the structural soundness and integrity of the tailings pond facilities in Filminera and other structures there is imbued with great public consequence, we, the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, as a body, is deviating from our usual parliamentary route. So in this case, I am now turning over the chairmanship, the presiding chairmanship, to the designated head of the Bantay Kalikasan Task Force of the provincial government of Masbate, created by virtue of an executive order by our Honorable Governor Antonio Ico. Honorable Rino Ravalo, you have now the floor.
Thank you, Board Member Arroyo. Good morning to everybody. Before we start with our exit conference, let me give this body an overview on how we came up with this kind of meeting. Last Thursday, Honorable Antonio Co, in response to the resolution passed by the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, issued an executive order number 27, establishing the Masbate Provincial Bantay Kalikasan Task Force, in which yours truly was designated as the chairman of the said Bantay Kalikasan Task Force. Right after the issuance of the said executive order, we were tasked together with all the members of the task force to proceed with the tailings storage facility of the Filminera Resources Corporation and or the so-called PGPRC. I don't know who owns that DSF. In compliance to the so-called mandate to the newly established task force, there was an agreement during the initial conference right there at Filminera Resources Corporation that we will be having an exec conference originally scheduled on Monday. However, because of the guidance of the governor and because he wants that all possible questions raised by all the members will be answered accordingly, we have to wait for the presence of the Regional Executive Director and the Regional Director of the Mines and Geosciences Bureau. It's so happened that there was a schedule that will be coming here today. That's why our exit conference was scheduled this morning. To make our proceedings short, may I call in the representative from the PGPRC or FRC to make a presentation as to what kind of facility we are inspecting based on the mandate of the executive order issued by Governor Co.
3 days ago, sorry. So inside this catchment drain, the idea is to try and keep the water out of the tailings pond. The least amount of water that's in the tailings pond, the better it is. And that's as simple as I can put it. So what we've done is we put a drain right round the southern portion to ensure that we are taking as much rainwater away from going in the dam. Moving forward. So this tailings dam, it started in March 2008, started construction. And it's been done in stages, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, and so on. So We've done it in stages because of the amount of material that is needed to do this, to make sure that the quality control is correct, and also to ensure that we're doing it safe. Completed in May 2019, and at that we've gone to this RL 59. So that's the 59 meters that everyone can hear of, and that is the height of the top of all of the dams, right? And it's relative to sea level. One thing in here that we'll have to notice is the water treatment plant, which was done in 2015. So in 2015, we actually constructed in 2014. We commissioned the water treatment plant in January 2015 so that we can release water. Now, we release the water into Port Barrera through a very complex water treatment plant system. But previous to that, so previous to 2015, we did not release any water. We built the dams as needed because of the water level. All right? We just want to make sure that everyone's clear that we have never released water from this tailings dam into the environment that has not been treated. Currently, at the moment, our construction schedule, which we check monthly, we make sure that we are going forward with this correctly. We're coming to budget time. So the next year, we're looking at stage 12 to be constructed, which is to RL 63. The next is stage 13 to RL 67. The next is stage 14 to RL 71. Now, these are in stages for multiple reasons. One of them is the sheer volume of material to get all of this done and the time frames. One is to make sure that we are at the best regulatory procedures and regulatory items possible at the time. So what would happen if we built everything now in 2020 and in 2027 there was a new rule, new regulations, new stipulations? We would not be able to correct that. The general overview of the TSFs. So this is the main embankment. This is our largest dam. And in general, well, in scales, when we do eventually go to RL 71, which is the final height, it will be 2.5 basketball courts in height. But everybody forgets when they look at a dam, they only look at the height, they only look at one side. When you look at a dam, a lot of it you cannot see. See this side here, where the tailings is? You never see that. Nobody sees that. It's hidden. It's like when you build a house. Everything, the most expensive part of a house is your foundations, but you never see it. With this case here, the size of this dam is not really actually seen. And why I'm trying to emphasize the size is because the size of this dam, this section here, is all rock filled, which is the heart of the dam. It is the strength behind the dam. So, for example, this is an earth-filled dam. This is a very common practice throughout the world. In the Philippines, so, for example, there's a lot of issues with tailings dams currently. So currently at the moment there's a global thing about tailings dams. One of them would have been the 2019, last year, the tailings dam failure in Brazil. Okay? So the one in Brazil is a different dam design than what we currently have. What we have here is a major rock-filled dam with a layer of clay on the very outside. We also have a filter zone, and then we have what we would call an A1, which is just a general large rock buttress to ensure the strength and the integrity of this dam. So the Brazilian dam, I'm not going to profess that I know anything about it, but I do know that it was a different method of construction. The way it was built was with tailings. It wasn't built with rock. It wasn't built the same as this dam. It wasn't built anywhere near to the standard of this dam. Where that happened, it was in Brazil. It was an iron ore mine. Again, it was their second dam failure for the same company. But it is a completely different dam design. We are building our dams 100% correct, 100% above any standards that I've ever seen, and above any standards that even anybody I speak to in the industry. So again, one of the things that I'm trying to illustrate here is that the size of this dam is the most important part of it. It might be 2.5 basketball courts in height, but it's 11.5 basketball courts at the base. It's a big dam. It's in the size of it is what actually makes this so safe. So the TSF design factor of safety. So one thing that we also do, our factor of safety is greater than 1.5. Recognized acceptable factor of safety is 1. We do go to enclosed gold standards, and if anybody knows any Australians, they're normally bigger and better at everything. And in this case, with the enclosed standards, they're bigger and better as well. They want to make sure that their standards are higher than anyone else in the world. And this is the standards that we are trying to follow, or we are following. Within the TSF design, 0.5, the DNR, MCC, MCE is 0.5 G, and ours is 1.4 G, almost 3 times more than what's acceptable here in the Philippines. All right. Also, it is a 1 in 10,000 AEP, and within the Philippines, the standards are 1 in 475. So we are, well, we're more than 10 times more in that case. This is also all on a magnitude of a 8.6 earthquake. Now, everybody this is a very, very big topic here, because this is why we're all here, because of the earthquake that just happened. Now, we've actually designed this to the Sidion sea fault line, which is only 8 kilometers from the tailings dam. Where the Masbate fault line, which is where the current earthquake happened, is much further away from us, and the intensity on the dam becomes a lot less. So we've actually taken the Masbate fault line and we've gone even further, and we said, no, there's a fault line even closer. We need to design to this. And because of that, we make our standards even higher. So if you look at there's a little scale at the bottom there, acceleration and velocity, which is here. We've designed ours for the extreme case. The current, or the last earthquake that just happened was a magnitude of 6.6, with an intensity of 5. The velocity was actually, the acceleration was actually less than 0.1 in Aroroy. So in Aroroy, it's less than 0.1. We designed to 1.4, which is 14 times more than what we felt in Aroroy. This is how much more of an over-design that we do here. And one of the things is using rock. The rock fill, the earth fill dam that we do, we over-design everything. In 2003, the magnitude, the next one was in 2003, the magnitude was 6.2. And the intensity of that earthquake in Aroroy was 6. Once again, it was around a 0.1 G acceleration. So once again, 14 times stronger than the one that happened in 2003 is what we're designed for. Freeboard, why does the TSF need to be raised in stages? This is a question that we normally get by most people. We are going with the most up-to-date regulations globally. If you look at this, it's a little bit, so at the moment, we are allowed 3 meters freeboard from the spillway. And the spillway is 1 meter below the crest. So right now the crests are at RL 59. We're allowed 3 meters below that before we have to start building dams. And that is an MGB regulation. And we've also confirmed it with our other consultants. We can actually go to a 2.5, but we do agree the more safety we have in this, the better. Flooding. TSF with flooding, this is another issue that is normally discussed and normally a very big thing between most people around the area. Everyone knows the typhoons in Masbate. Everybody knows the rainfall that we can have in a very, very short period of time. And we make sure that we're designing this to accommodate all of those issues. And then some. So currently at the moment we're designing to 1 in 10,000. And that is unheard of really within the Philippines. It's now becoming a global standard. And we want to continue that standard, if not make it better in the future. All of this is done on a 72-hour storm duration. And we want to make sure that we never have an overflow or a discharge of water that is not treated. That is our main objective. Dewatering, this is another very big topic. Recently in the Philippines, not long ago, there was a dam failure. They had a penstock. We have a pumping system. We are not the same system. We have a pumping system all the way through. Also, we have the water treatment plant down at the bottom.